Hi, my name is Cassie Cook. I'm an ecologist with Polk County Conservation. We're here at Easter Lake Park, and we're on the south side of the park where we're doing a woodland restoration. And behind me, you can see we have goats grazing in our park this year. We're doing this for our efforts of reducing invasive species in this park. And so we have a problem, like most of the woodlands in Iowa, of having invasive trees and shrubs in our park, and they're crowding out our native species. So one of the ways that we do like to treat these invasives is by using goat grazing. So this is one of the species that we're targeting, one of our invasive species. This is bush honeysuckle. They are not native to the United States. If they're not controlled, these plants can get up to 10 feet tall, 12 feet tall, grow really thick and really shade everything out. So this is bush honeysuckle. And right next to it, we have autumn olive, which is another species that we are targeting, doing the same process. So autumn olive is a little bit unique, and they have a very silver underside of their leaf. So they're really easy to identify when you have them. Same deal, they will grow very tall and really thickly and shade out our native species. And then one last one that we are controlling is round-leaved bittersweet. So this is actually a vine, and they can grow up tall trees and grow very thick as well. And sometimes they can even strangle our native trees by wrapping around a trunk or a branch and pretty much girdling the tree, so preventing it from moving water and sugars up and down the trunk. So this one can really get overwhelming in a woodland. So our species, like the bush honeysuckle and the autumn olive, aren't from the United States, and that's why we call them non-native invasives. And so the reason why that happens is when a plant is native and adapted to a certain country or an area, they usually have natural checks and balances, like predators, whether it's insects or grazers like deer, or weather or soil conditions that put checks and balances on its growth. Well, people brought autumn olive and honeysuckle over from different countries and brought them to the United States, thinking they would be great wildlife habitat or food sources for our birds. And when you plant those things in the United States, the natural checks and balances aren't here. So if you look to see where the goats are currently, they have been grazing this area for a day or two. And you can see that we see a lot of bare soil, and we don't really see very many leaves on our shrubs. And the goats are doing their job. They're eating everything out here, and that's what we want. And then if you look over here, the goats have not been here yet. So we do have our small shrubs of our invasive species and other things. And the goats will move here next and hopefully reduce all of those leaves of the invasive species. And the good thing is our native Iowa vegetation species, they're adapted to grazing. So even if the goats are going to graze our native species, they're going to be fine. They're going to grow back. So our goats this year at Easter Lake are from Goats on the Go out of Ames. They're a great partner to work with, and they bring the goats out to our parks and take care of them and keep track of them for the summer.
Usually about every day we set up a new half acre, and then whenever they're hungry we move them over. So we take the fence, and we have our energizer up here. Keeps the fence electric. They know not to touch it, and they stay in for the most part, so yeah. Here goes. Here goes.
This is a really important step to keep this park healthy, and they'll be grazing these woodlands and helping us control the invasive species.